Sick of people at ESPN or SportsCenter who think they have their heads on their shoulders but really don't? Well, it's time for the Jimmy the K Sports Show with the big new. Guess what, boys and girls? We are the number one sports show. We're going to give you the most urgent sports news. Sit back, buckle up, grab a cold one if you must. You don't need one. However, sit back, buckle up for the number one sports show on the web, and get ready to welcome yourself to this jungle. Here we go, fanboys! How y'all doing? It's me, Jimmy the K. You see me each and every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time with the big dude.
What up, what up?
Hopefully y'all's week is going off well. We want to get to the sports news. There's lots of sports news out there. Let's go ahead and start right off, starting off with the NBA Finals. What were your thoughts on the NBA Finals Game 7?
Man, you know what? That first half, I was like, it was like Cleveland had ate Thanksgiving dinner, and they were sluggish, and the tryptamine or whatever that they say that like the anatrictamine or whatever, it's a tryptophan or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
They keep it like I think I'm gonna play defense. I don't know. Kyrie, what do you want to do? I don't know. LeBron, you know what? I mean, I'm just. Where's the couch here? I think I'm just going. And then it seemed like second half was like they went in the bathroom, dropped one, came back out, and it was like booyah! We gonna play like we played in Game 3, Game 5, and just squash off. And man, it was unbelievable. You know what? I shed some tears at the end of the game. If you didn't shed some tears as a sports fan to think about, 54 years, he came not only for LeBron but just for the city itself. He came back to the city and knocked it out the box. Yeah, so I'm still out to, sorry people. It was unbelievable. That's all I gotta say. It was just unbelievable.
How about I gotta throw this one out there. You know, Skip Bayless's last day at ESPN was today.
Was it?
Yes, it was. He's going over to Fox Sports. But you remember what one of his famous tweets was when Johnny Manziel was first drafted to the Cleveland Browns?
What was it?
It was that Johnny Manziel would be the greatest thing to happen to Cleveland. He would be even bigger than LeBron James.
No, come on.
That was an epic fill.
You know what? And Skip Bayless, I like you. I like how you do your shows and everything, but that's stupid. Johnny Manziel, no, he ain't even proven himself yet. So how are you gonna say that this kid is gonna be the best thing that ever happened to the city of Cleveland? That's garbage.
And now you know why he's going to Fox Sports.
Going to Fox Sports.
Oh, man. But back to the NBA Finals.
Stephen ain't going to be by himself?
I don't know. He'll probably be there to, talk to himself.
We can co-host the Stephen A. show.
We could.
They might ask you to trim it up a little bit, though.
Probably.
They might ask you to trim it up.
I might drop 5 pounds trimming it up, though.
You might. I mean, listen, I could be on Stephen A. Okay, we could.
Yeah, exactly.
We could co-host Stephen A. We're very opinionated. Okay. I ain't afraid of Stephen A. If I don't like what you say, I'll tell you.
Oh, exactly.
I don't like what you say. Okay. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And some of the stuff Stephen A. you say is wrong, and you know it.
Hey, he said the Golden State Warriors were going to win the finals.
No, please. You know what?
Hey, kind of like some fanboys out there that I know.
Yeah. Fanboy out there. Listen. From the get-go, I said Cleveland's going to win it all. Even my daughter today, she was like, I said, what did I tell you? She said, you were right. You were right. I said, you know I'm right. I said, I had that feeling. And like I told JK over the weekend, I said, now there's a blueprint on how to play Golden State. They don't like to play defense. They don't like you all in their face. And when you got him running around, and Tristan Thompson, he played hella defense on Steph Curry.
Oh yeah.
And then Kevin Love switched off and played defense.
Yeah, Kevin Love finally played defense.
He finally played some defense. Kevin Love.
Hey,
I ain't gonna take back what I said because you was shitty in the beginning. Okay, you were straight shitty. You know you was. For whatever reason, you need to get back to that Kevin Love that came out of Minnesota, that was balling in Minnesota. You stepped up in this game with rebounds and playing defense, but it seemed like you were timid when the shot. So I'm not gonna bash you a whole lot this show, but you in the first 2 games, first 3 games, so you're kind of garbagey, kind of smell a little bit. So, but I'm glad you got yourself together somewhat, and you came around, and so hopefully, I don't want him to be traded, but I think there's some.
There's rumors going around.
I know.
After Game 7, there's rumors
there
out
were some
there
rumors
that hey, there's some teams that still have some love for him, and I was like, really? Maybe it's just the atmosphere of Cleveland.
Could he come? Okay.
Oh, yeah, but
Kevin Love.
You never know.
But if you keep Kevin Love, Durant, Westbrook, Adams. Oh, that's a beast ass lineup right there. That's a lineup, man. That's unstoppable.
It is. It's very unstoppable.
If Kevin Love was to get his head out of his behind.
Yeah, exactly.
That could, it could happen. But as far as the finals, I was afraid in the beginning. I was sitting there watching it. I'm like, man, they coming up to shady right now. They just not playing. It's like they were in shock. And then I don't know what happened second half, but when it came out that second half and they played defense, they rebounded.
They stopped the 3-pointers in the second half.
They stopped the 3-pointer.
30 of their 47 first half points were off of 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And see, people out there, people that have not watched the Golden State Warriors apparently don't realize that that's their MO. Their MO is to shoot the three.
Shoot the three.
Their basic. Hey, Steve Kerr's coaching job was their MO was to keep it close at the half, and then by that fourth quarter is take that dagger and just put it in.
Yeah, and if you take, they only go into the paint, desperation. Like towards the end, Draymond, he was down in the paint, but it was not a whole lot though. And even just the team as a whole, Golden State, they really don't go in the paint a lot. They pull up, shoot. So, but if you take like JK said, if you take that away from them, they're just an everyday average team that anybody in the NBA can beat. And now, since Cleveland has beat them, and LeBron, I was watching some footage today. He said I watched those first 2 games. He said I had to go back and watch them and see what were we missing as a team. What was I missing as an individual that I can add to? And he said he found he found the blueprint. And as soon as it happened, as soon as they lost, as soon as Cleveland won that final, I said, all other NBA teams, take note. This is how you can beat Golden State, but you can't be lazy about it though.
No. Yeah, and see, I think that was part of the Thunder's problem is they got up 3-1 and they got lazy.
They got lazy.
They found the blueprint.
Yes,
they originally were the team that found the blueprint.
They found the blueprint.
They found that blueprint.
Ta-da!
And then
the light came on.
The light came on.
Yes.
They got up 3-1,
yes.
and then from there the wheels came off.
Yes.
And see, some critics out there have knocked me for saying that, I'm just one of those hosts that just like certain teams and won't give other teams credit. Well, the truth of the matter is, when Draymond Green didn't get suspended for kneeing or kicking Steven Adams, Did I think it was possible for him to have been suspended? Yes, but was I crying that he didn't get suspended? No. But yet, certain fans out there that want to claim that they're only
Boo-hoo.
that certain
Don't be crying.
yeah, exactly. They
Don't
claim that
be
they're sports
crying.
fans want to backtrack on you. This one particular person, and I can go back through the chats, basically told me in a Facebook forum that Cleveland luck was on their side, and he said it in quotes. Luck was on their side. If it was not for the Draymond Green suspension in Game 5, Golden State would have won. And I replied back and kept telling him, I was like, Draymond Green played in Game 6 and 7, and they
and
still
won.
lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, Golden State still lost.
Yes.
And he
So
kept
what-
backpedaling.
Yeah.
So
So it's like in this ring. If I had been there, no, you guys are beatable.
exactly. And I'll give Draymond Green credit for Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
Game 7, he came out, and you look at Game 7, he was balling that whole game.
Yes.
The rest of the team, what happened in Game 6 ended up screwing the Golden State Warriors in Game 7.
Yes.
Because Stephen Curry, in my personal opinion, Stephen Curry let his emotions come off on his sleeve.
Yeah.
He got mad that he got fouled out of Game 6, threw that mouthpiece,
Mhm.
and he could never gain his composure back.
Yes, and his teammate Klay Thompson in the press conference gonna say, "Well, this is a man's game." Oh, really? It's a man's game. But your boy number 30, he crying and whining and throwing stuff. Yeah, it's a man's game, and you played a man, and his name was LeBron James.
Exactly.
And Kyrie Irving and Tristan Thompson. It's a man's game, and they showed you what it takes to win, what it takes. And you know what? My personal opinion, Cleveland could go back.
Oh, yeah.
With this group that they got right now, they could go back. Now I got some NBA stuff that some guys are going to be opting out of their.
Yes.
We'll get to that, but I got some guys that are going to be opting out of their contracts with Cleveland. But this group of guys, and the only piece that was missing last year is Kyrie Irving.
Yep. That was the only.
Because my person, they could have won it last year. So all you haters out there that don't like LeBron James, listen, just recognize a man's skills.
Four rings. Am I not correct?
No.
Or is three?
He got two with
Miami,
Right.
and
one with Cleveland.
Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah. We got 3. Yeah.
So there's still 3 more to touch Jordan, but even at that, you look at his stat numbers across the line. They're almost identical to
Jordan. So for all you haters out there that are hating on LeBron, listen, he may be a little arrogant. So if you're good, you're good. But you got to recognize this man's skills. To me, hands down, he is the best player in the NBA.
Oh yeah, hands down.
He can back you down. He can shoot the 3. He can play the point. He can play forward. He can do anything on the court that needs to be done. He can do it. So you got people out there that, he's arrogant. He said this. He said, yeah, okay. What if he was on your team and he made a certain comment?
Exactly.
Would you care?
Exactly.
So you can't have a double standard. Because if you got people here in Oklahoma City that we don't like, they didn't like Draymond. Yeah, but if Draymond was on your team kicking somebody in their jewels,
yeah,
would you care then?
Exactly.
I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. Y'all know that. Would I have loved for them to be in the playoffs? Heck yes. They weren't. and the crazy thing about it was 2 years ago, we did it without we did it without Derrick Rose.
Yep.
It was hard-nosed play, and they did it without Derrick Rose. Now, as far as Golden State, can they get back? Of course they can. But in my personal opinion, they need to broaden their the way they play.
Right.
They need to broaden the way they play because, like you said, this this blueprint of how to play them on defense, on offense, they don't want to be physical.
No.
If you watch, I remember I watched before we did the show tonight at home. So let me watch it again. They don't want to be physical. They don't like to be physical. They don't want to be bumped. They don't want to. They don't have to be chased off of picks. If you watch any other game for those 73 games other than the playoffs, the Thunder and Cleveland have got them. The rest of the NBA, I don't know why you didn't figure it out. You know, you can't you gotta find out what makes them tick, and what makes them tick is to be able to run free,
Right.
and not be manipulated, and not be abused and play physical. Whereas Cleveland did that, and they got the ring, and I'm happy for the city of Cleveland.
Oh,
Like I said,
I'm ecstatic
I
for
was-
Cleveland.
I was at work tonight. And I was like, let me take my glasses. I'm gonna drop a little tears right now. I'll drop a couple of tears and stuff. And I was like, man, I'm sitting there clapping, and people walking by the glass. They were like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm okay. I'm okay." And but I'm so happy for the city of Cleveland. 54 years. Last time they had one was Cleveland Browns went and won
a Super Bowl.
won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that won't happen for a while.
Man,
but
a
hey,
long time.
you know, you've got to give Cleveland a lot of credit though.
Yeah.
No team in the history of the NBA ever. They had 32 other teams. No team in the history of the NBA had ever come back from a 3-1 deficit.
None.
People said that about the Boston Red Sox. And if I'm not mistaken, I said this on last week's show. You can go back and view it on the website or view it on my Facebook page as well. But they said the same thing about the Boston Red Sox, and sure enough, they won the World Series.
Yeah.
It's almost like, these media critics out there say certain things, and these certain teams, like the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Red Sox, being the two teams that have only come back from 3-1s to win major championships, have taken notice and said, we're going to rise to the occasion, and we're going to prove the critics wrong. Because going into these playoffs, going into the finals, Cleveland wasn't even a favorite to win the NBA Finals. As we're saying hi to our viewers.
And to see the emotion, I haven't seen that kind of emotion from a player that won a championship until before, when Michael Jordan won after his dad was.
Right.
That was the only time I've seen a player show that kind of emotion. Is that when he ran to the locker room and cried, and LeBron, and then on the sideline, I saw Tyronn Lue. Be honest with you, I've watched plenty of NBA basketball in my life, and I've never seen a coach ball like that. I've never seen. Yeah, I just, it's. But they're a good team, and they're a team to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah, and honestly, this is my opinion. If the media critics do not have the Cleveland Cavaliers as a favorite for next year,
you're stupid.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's before saying that LeBron's going to resign, or he's going to go somewhere else. Speaking of going somewhere else, while we're at it, there's rumors going around that supposedly that if he opts out of a deal, that the Lakers are going to be the first team that he goes to. What are your thoughts on that?
Say that again. What'd you just say?
That LeBron, if he opts out of his contract, the Lakers are the first team that he's going to.
No, I won't say that. I'll say either.
I honestly don't think he opts out. Not after winning a championship.
I don't think he opts out. Almost definitely. LA, No.
I
I was gonna. I was gonna
realistically,
say.
I could see him going back to Miami, but that's realistically. I mean, honestly, I don't see him going anywhere. I see him staying in Cleveland.
What improvements do you think the Houston Astros need to make to become the team they were just?
I don't know. Houston Astros? Really? Houston Astros? Um, go back 2 more seasons.
That's the simple answer. We'll get to that here in
Yeah.
a couple minutes,
Yeah.
Kelly. I promise.
Yeah. I don't. I was gonna say, you know what? He'd be stupid to go to New York. But I could see LeBron back to Miami.
Hmm.
I could see LeBron
Here's
Clippers.
here's one for you. Yeah, do you think Mark Cuban has the nads to go after LeBron James if he
Uh,
and the money?
you know what?
Although I've heard rumors that Dwight Howard is the first one that the Mavericks are considering
I would not take the White Howard
for Hill of Beans.
no, no. I don't even. I say this: if if Dirk stays, so you have Dirk and LeBron. That is the only way I would.
See it
Yeah,
realistically in Dallas.
unreal. Yeah, but LA, no, he don't want to go through a rebuilding. I mean,
Yeah. Realistically, if he opts out, I don't see him going to a team that's going to rebuild.
no.
He's going to go to a team that's proven playoff contender, Oklahoma City,
Yep.
um,
Miami.
Miami. I wouldn't see him going to Toronto. That's going to
You know, I was just about to say that.
Great minds think alike.
I was about to say Toronto. I was just about to say Toronto.
Were you really?
Yes.
You think he'd go to Toronto, really?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You think he'd cross the border to win a championship for the Canadians?
That's Texas. It's all about that money.
Hey, it is.
Um.
Oh, man.
Oh man. Let me see. Memphis.
Yeah, possibly.
Because they got a pretty. They always in contention every year, and they may be that one piece.
That's a good point.
They always
They're always right there.
they're
within
always right
arm's
there
reach.
on within reaches of so LeBron could be that one player that gets him over the hump.
Okay. Here's one for you.
Okay.
Here's a really good one for you. If he opts out, do you see him going to Golden State?
No. He be like Steph, man. We gonna be boys. We gonna forget about all that stuff, all that East Coast West Coast nonsense that we had last year. Still gonna be like LeBron James. You know what?
I could really throw you for a loop
You already do me.
and say the Washington Wizards and get it. Only if Durant signs it. I'm kidding.
I can see him, but I was gonna say coming here, but how will he handle Westbrook?
Exactly. That's Durant's been here long enough and played alongside Westbrook long enough that he knows how to handle him.
Yeah.
LeBron, granted, LeBron's been around all kinds of attitudes in Miami and
Yeah.
even Cleveland, but you've got Westbrook, who every once in a while likes taking the game into his own hands, and then you'd have LeBron doing the same thing. You'd basically almost have the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook type love there, because it's either Durant or it's Westbrook, doing
Yeah,
it there.
yeah. I mean, and in this game, like LeBron made history. The only people to have a triple double in the NBA Final Game 7, Jerry West, James Worthy.
That was Batman, wasn't it?
that
That was Adam West, not Jerry
Jerry West, James Worthy, and LeBron James are the only three guys in NBA history. So we have two Lakers, one Cavalier, to have triple doubles in a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. That was smackadocious right there, man. And then let me see, also NBA stuff. Derek Collison is got charges for. Let me see. Let me go back up. Derrick Rose.
Oh, Derrick Rose, yes.
Um,
The rumors that have been going around.
I found okay. You got Derrick Rose with a trade to New York and possible Jimmy Butler, but for coming for the 2016-2017 year, Derrick Rose is supposed to get 21 million for the season, and I don't see. I mean, I don't see Chicago getting rid of him. I don't know. I mean, he was an MVP in 2010. In 2015, he played 66 games. His average was 16.14 4 points a game, 4.7 assists. His shooting percentage from the floor was 427, and that's Derrick Rose. I mean, he don't have 20, 30-point games, but he still got it.
He still got it.
He still got it. Um,
Realistically,
I don't.
realistically, what trade would have to be made? I mean, would they go? Would the Chicago target a trade pick possibly?
Yeah, it was that one of the it was a veteran guy that on New York that they would have to give up.
Okay.
I think the salary cap is going up next year. Right now it's like
Yes.
it's 92 plus,
Next year's supposed to be like 105.
like 105 million.
That's why everyone that's got opt outs right now is
Yeah,
probably opting back in on a 1 year or on a 2 year deal with a 1 year agreement.
yeah. And
Kevin Durant being one of those.
Yes,
Kevin Durant would lose money
if he goes.
if he goes somewhere else,
Yeah.
rather than taking a 2 year deal with Oklahoma City with a 1 year opt out, because then he makes more money.
Yeah.
However, he wants to go to a contending team, and we understand that.
Yeah. The guys that are opting out of their contracts, Brandon Bass with the Lakers, he turned down $3 million from the Lakers. He averages 7.2 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, and 20 minutes per game. J.R. Smith, who just won a ring with Cleveland, he will be a free agent in July, and he is getting his right now he's getting 2.2 million of a $5 million salary guaranteed in September. So he's getting $5 million guaranteed, supposed to come in September, and then also Mo Williams will be he will pick up his option for 2016. For next year, he's going to get 2.2 million for a season, and then that's going to be the last of his 4.3 million from his last summer's contract. So Mo Williams going to stay with Cleveland, but J.R. Smith is going to opt out and check the free agent market, and so is Brandon Bass from the Lakers, and those are some of the guys that I found out over the weekend that were on the NBA side that are going to
There
be
was a Cavalier also that announced his retirement.
Richard
Right?
Jefferson.
Okay, Richard
Mhm.
Jefferson. I mean, after he got the ring, it was like, okay, I'm
I'm
out
done.
of here.
Well, yeah,
But
why?
still, I mean, why
Yeah,
stay
you,
another season and then run
yeah,
the risk of
and
you go out on
going
top?
out on top. Also, Derek Collison, he's charged with 2 misdemeanors of domestic violence and domestic battery. There was an incident on May 30th in Placer County Jail. So I did my research. If he is convicted, he has a fine of $6,000, or he gets a jail term of 2 to 3 years in the county, which he's gonna have some high dollar attorney.
Exactly.
What it is it's the actual what it's called is it's it is called corporal injury to a spouse or cohabital um, person, and so he bailed out of jail um, with $55,000 to bail out. Or 50, was it? Yeah, 55,000, and then his court date is coming up on July 11th. So we'll see what happens with Darren Collison, because that also will affect. Um, that will also affect Sacramento. They'll have to wait and see. Are they going to? Because he's their main point guard. Him and Rajon Rondo were their two ball handlers. So they're going to have to check and wait and see what happens with this, with Darren Collison for the Sacramento Kings. And that's most of the NBA stuff that I have right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's switch gears and talk a little bit of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball. It's we're getting into that time of the year when the trade rumor mills are kind of going at. They're kind of starting to spin. They're not in full motion because you really won't get those full motion trades going off until around July 1, if at the earliest. And then by the end of July, you'll start hitting trades left and right. Um, one of the biggest names out there that I've seen rumors going around is Aroldis Chapman. Aroldis Chapman has reportedly is being courted by five contending teams. Three of those being the Texas Rangers, the Kansas City Royals, if I'm not mistaken, and the there's one other one.
But it's not only him. It's another player with the Yankees. They're trying to deal too.
Yeah, Andrew Miller.
Andrew Miller. They're trying to deal two at the same time.
And I don't know if they're trying to deal both at the same time or if basically what they're trying to do is unload one and see which one can bring back the most returns. Personally, if I was a general manager of the New York Yankees, my biggest return's probably going to be Chapman. His ERA is like 1.61 or something, and he's got like 13 saves even after his 30-game suspension at the beginning of the season.
Why are they trying to deal him though? I don't understand. It doesn't. It's like if he's got that a lower ERA, then wouldn't you want to have him for the postseason?
Well, that's the thing with the Yankees.
I mean, it's not.
The Yankees are kind of towards the bottom right there. They're middle of the bottom, so
they're on like a 5-game losing streak.
the Yankees are cellar dwellers. Okay. They're not the Astros, but they're cellar dwellers.
My Braves are coming around though.
Sorry, Kelly. I'm not dogging the Astros. I promise. Speaking of the Astros, I'll answer your question, Kelly. She asked, "What improvements do I think the Houston Astros need to make to become the team that they were last year?" Personally, there's not a lot of improvements. They probably need to target starting pitching. Starting pitching has been their problem this year. That The one pitcher that they counted on last year that won the AL Cy Young, Dallas Keuchel, has gotten no run support. You look at his record. The last time I saw his record was 3-8, 3-8, and his ERA was like 4.91 or something like that, something ridiculous. And you're sitting here, but the games that I've gotten to see, one of them being that with Dallas Keuchel pitching against the Texas Rangers. Keuchel pitched a pretty good game, pretty solid game. The problem that he had that game was absolutely no run support. You know, you've got Evan Gattis. Evan Gattis is starting to come around. Believe it or not, at the beginning of the season, it looked like Evan Gattis was on empty. It looked like he was nowhere to be found. So Evan Gattis's bat's coming around. If you can get the rest of those guys' bats coming around and offensively find a player or two where you lack. And honestly, the Astros for years, I've said, have needed a prominent first baseman. You know, in the offseason, I felt like they should have targeted Chris Davis. Chris Davis being one of those players that in Minute Maid Park would at least have 20 home runs just because of the power that he has as a first baseman. So, you know, personally, I'd go after a first baseman if I was the Astros. I'd go after probably some relief pitching. Your relief pitching's not all that great. I'd probably stay away from trying to trade any of your starters. People are probably going to go right now. There's probably I haven't heard anything, but I'm pretty sure the city of Houston isn't in a flux right now of people saying, well, maybe we should consider trading Dallas Keuchel. But, you know, Dallas Keuchel coming off of a Cy Young year, having a bad year this year with basically the losses are not his fault. He's getting absolutely no run support. You don't want to trade somebody like that. Could they possibly trade somebody like Lance McCullers or one of their younger pitchers to quite possibly maybe get one or two, one major league player pitcher ready, and then secondly get a minor league pitcher as well, possibly. But personally, I think offensively is where the Astros need to go. They need to go and find somebody that can get them, that can help them score runs. If you can't score the runs for people like Dallas Keuchel, then you end up having problems like you did.
It's National Selfie Day, okay?
Yeah, he's taking selfies.
I can take a selfie if I want.
Exactly. But no, I would not trade anything. You know, the Astros honestly should probably just stay fit with the players that they got, hope for a bad year this year, and then come out strong next year.
And maybe get some draft picks too, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, the Astros draft was pretty strong. So you have to understand that, you know, with Reed Ryan as the president of the Houston Astros, his daddy breathing down his neck, telling him, hey, you know, might be best if we do this or that. It's the Astros have a lot of similarities, and I've said this from the time that Nolan Ryan left the Texas Rangers organization. A lot of similarities to the Texas Rangers. So I would not just go all out and start trading players just to try to better the Houston Astros. I think the problem the Astros had last year is the fact that they had a lot of young players and, you know, a lot of rookie players that come on strong that are having sophomore seasons this year or sophomore slumps, as they say in Major League Baseball. So I wouldn't get too much. I wouldn't dwell too much on it this season. You know, I'd go out and, you know, if you're the Astros, you might trade for one or two players if you must. But if you're going to trade, you need to trade for at least a first baseman with power, and then go from there. Other than that, though, I do see the Astros as being a contending team next year. I really do. So that's the improvements that I think that the Houston Astros should make. If you, like Kelly, have any questions to ask us during the show, just hit us up. If you're watching Facebook Live, simple at the bottom, you hit the little message button down at the bottom, right about there, and just send in your questions, or you can send in your comments. You can like us while you're watching live. You can laugh at us. You can tell us we don't know. You can tell him he's acting too goofy, which I mean, I could have told you that. But the other thing that I didn't get to bring up last week that you and I discussed this over the phone. There's rumors that the Chicago Cubs are courting Jose Batista.
Why would you? I mean,
You know, the Cubs are already a first place team.
So why would you bring in?
Jose Batista, one, if you trade for him, he's going to cost you. He's going to
cost you some money.
He's going to cost you money, and he's going to cost you some minor league players. Two, it's not the offense that lacks for the Chicago Cubs. It's not the pitching that lacks for the Chicago Cubs. It's the relief pitching that lacks for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
So, you know, with the rumors that are going out with, you know, Aroldis Chapman and Andrew Miller, both their names have been brought up in the Chicago Cubs rumor mill. So I could see them possibly landing either Aroldis Chapman or Andrew Miller, but the rumor going around that Jose Batista is on their, you know, in their sights, it's just a rumor. You know, I honestly think somebody just made that up just to put it on the MLB trade rumors so that I, you know, get all giddy over seeing something like that.
See, I'm sorry, people. I like baseball. I don't keep up with it as much as he does. I'm more of a football, college, NASCAR, stuff like that. Baseball, I like it. I just don't keep up with it as, you know.
Speaking of NASCAR, while we are at it, did you hear? And you know, this is only sports related because it happened to a race car driver. Did you hear about the Wallace brother who took his daughter and his family, or and her family and his mom to a Rascal Flatts concert, and ended up getting bloodied up at the end of it?
No, what the?
Mike Wallace, he was attacked after apparently frequenting a Rascal Flatts concert in the Carolinas. You know, reportedly, he had been talking to these guys that had parked in front of them at the beginning as they were walking in. They parked in front of him. He was chit-chatting with them, you know, going into the arena to see Rascal Flatts with his family, his daughter and son-in-law and wife and their families, and come back out. And, you know, these teen kids were, you know, talking or whatever, and he started talking to one of them, and allegedly one of them started yelling at the top of his lungs, came after him and started just welling him, knocked him unconscious.
No, I didn't
His daughter, he woke up, you know, on the ground, and his daughter was trying to shield him. She ended up hurt as well. So
did they catch the guy?
they did, but they ended up posting bond for like $1,500. They got this. This is the charges they brought up on the kids. One was misdemeanor fighting or something like that, and the other one was intent to harm a female.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, last question. The new Houston Texans players such as Brock Osweiler, Lamar Miller, Will Fuller, etc., Do you think they would? Do you think we could head to the Super Bowl? A challenge for.
Um, I mean, Brock is good, but it's going to take more than Brock and two guys to get you to the Super Bowl. Um, even be a contender. You guys didn't even the Texans didn't even sniff the playoffs last year. You weren't even around the corner to even know when it's going to be open. So I mean, Brock did good when he was with Denver. I admit that, but um, you got to me, my personal opinion, you have a bust in Jadeveon Clowney. Um, you have J.J. Watts that um, you can't put everything on him. We'll have to see what happens, you know, uh, this year. You can tell what's going to happen with a team between the first game and the fifth game. You can kind of tell where they're going to be at, where their heads are going to be at, and whether they're going to be a contender for the playoffs. So to just say that Lamar Miller and Osweiler, I know Osweiler won 8 or 9 games in Denver to help them get to the playoffs, but that was a team that was built to get to the Super Bowl, a team that already had a killer defense in place. So um, that's pretty much where that's at. Unless you know, maybe next year, not this coming year, but maybe they could start to build around Osweiler and bring in some pieces.
I know Will Fuller was a draft pick that they picked up from I think it was Notre Dame, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
I could be wrong. I think it was.
Um, so you just have to see. Like I said, I'm not knocking Osweiler because I saw when he played for Denver. He can play, but
He also had an offensive
he
line.
did. He had John Elway, which is a great executive. John Elway built that team. Number one, to protect Peyton. Number two, he already had a defense that was stellar. And basically, that's my they won that Super Bowl for uh, for Denver. I mean, don't get me wrong. Manning, he did his part. He threw the ball when he needed to and whatnot and whatever. And the running game was good, but the Denver defense, that was the catalyst for them winning the Super Bowl. So we'll have to see what happens, and 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 I'll maybe you know what I will start keeping track of what how Osweiler. I wonder who's his backup in Denver, or is he going to be the starter?
Osweiler is the
He's the
starter.
starter.
He is
Okay,
the starter.
they already said
He
that
went
with
he
with the
went
idea
with
that he
the
was going.
Texans
They were going to be
because he was basically guaranteed the starting spot there.
okay.
Um, I don't know if Denver had necessarily guaranteed him at the starting spot in Denver, and
I think
he didn't want Denver to draft a quarterback and him have to compete. He wanted to be able to go to a team
I
and
think
say, "Hey, this is my track
okay.
record."
I thought
So
I think they were going to let him, but they weren't going to pay him the money
yeah,
that he wanted.
I
They
think
were going.
yeah,
Excuse me. Brock was going to be the starter, but Denver was like, "We're going to pay you this amount." And John Elway's pretty stern, and
oh yeah,
he don't back down from. And you look, you got the whole Von Miller situation.
yeah.
That Von's like, you know what? I'm just going to hold out, and Elway's like, "Hey, you hold out. Well, you tie my hands. You're not
He,
you're not giving me. I know you're looking at, like I said last week.
yeah, okay. You bring up Von Miller. Who are the top 5 teams that you could potentially see him signing for if he decides not to sit out this
Who's
season
the
and does not sign with Denver?
He's a linebacker.
Yes, he's an outside linebacker.
Outside backer.
He's basically a Charles Haley.
Okay, so Kansas City, they already got Tamba Ali and all that's already set.
Dallas would be my number one
Dallas.
because Jerry Jones has the money and he has
Yeah.
the nats to do
Yes. He
what
does
it
have the
takes.
chance to do it.
Plus, Dallas doesn't really have a defense, and he could
Dallas.
anchor that defense.
Uh,
I could,
Arizona?
Arizona possibly.
Yeah.
What about New Orleans?
Yeah.
The Saints.
Yeah, Saints could do it.
How
my Giants.
since the Giants as
My
well.
Giants. We need.
Uh,
I mean,
let's help Kelly out here. What do you think about the Texans? Do you think maybe the Texans may have the money to kind of woo him?
they might have the money to woo a Von Miller. He's wanting to get. Denver's offering him $40 million guaranteed cash.
Yeah.
The overall contract is going to be like $114 million. Maybe the Texans say, you know what, we'll give you 45 guaranteed plus 100 and all together, maybe make it $125 million contract. Extra $5 million that you never know what they could do that might persuade him to play for the Texans.
Okay.
But is he going to want to play for a contender, or is he going to play for somebody that is?
You can't necessarily say the Houston's aren't contenders just yet because the season really hasn't started.
Because they're running. I mean,
but could you realistically say that Von Miller goes there under the same assumption that he goes to Dallas and anchors their defense? I mean, granted, you've got J.J. Watt. He basically anchors that defense of the Texans anyway. So you have J.J. Watt, then you have Von Miller, then you have Clowney if he ever shows up.
I think he's a bust. I think it's Davion Clowney. I think he was so much hype coming out of South Carolina, and I just think he's a bust. He has not showed any potential. You have Clowney on one end. Yeah, Davion Clowney on one side, and J.J. Watts. You should be quarterbacks and running backs should be scared out of their mind when they play the Texans, but they're not. They know we're probably gonna, as much as they can, they're gonna try and double team J.J. Watts. But if Clowney, he hasn't showed me from watching him, he hasn't showed me anything that will make me be afraid of running to his side or anything like that, or you could do offensive line, you pull and guard and tackle, coming down, they'll double team him and wipe him out, and boom, they run on. He hasn't showed me that he can contend with that. Now on the other side with J.J. Watts, he can handle a double team. He sometimes, and I say this, some guys go to college and they play football and they all hyped up, but then when they get to the pros, it's like, I got my money, they don't have that drive, they don't have that. Whereas J.J. Watts is like his engine runs all the freaking time. Like it just goes and goes and goes because he wants to win.
Exactly. And you had maybe Von Miller to that. This is an assumption, and you know what happens when you assume.
Mm-hmm.
y'all can use your imagination for that one. But you had Von Miller to that equation.
Yeah.
You have Von Miller running full steam. You got J.J. Watt. Maybe the secondary of the Texans actually step up, and then maybe offensively the Texans do become an elite team.
Yeah.
So that's our thoughts on that. How about the NBA draft? The NBA draft's coming up this Thursday. I know for a fact that Ben Simmons has basically been guaranteed the number one pick by the 76ers.
Yeah.
That's basically across the board. Everyone said it. A matter of fact, I think a report came out right before the show that basically guaranteed him the number one pick from the Philadelphia 76ers. What about somebody, like Buddy Hield or any of the the Kansas Jayhawks? Where do they go in the draft? And you know,
You know, I put my eyes on. Yeah, I had Ben Simmons going number one. I had Brandon Ingram going number two. I think Buddy Hill should be number three. Jamal Murray, four. Dragon Bender. And I'm gonna tell you a story behind this guy, number five. I was going online to look up his stats. When he plays in Tel Aviv, I said, you know what, I want to see what his stats are so I can tell the listeners and the viewers what his stats are. They're in a foreign language that I couldn't read. So all I can tell you that he's
you didn't have any translators around you.
none. None in my house that gets speak television. None in my house. So, but he is Dragon Bender coming out of Tel Aviv. I got him at five. Jaylen Brown is a guy that we talked about that got the shoe contract that plays at Cal. I got him at six. And like I said, people, I saw this guy's footage on YouTube. I don't know how in the heck he's going to number six, but he's going to number six. And to top it off, I got Chris Dunn going number seven. So, but Buddy, I think people are worried about with Buddy. Is his college game going to be able to translate to
Right.
to the NBA game? Because it's kind of like with Golden State. Now he's going to have people that are going to be in his face.
Yeah.
He's going to have people that are going to play defense on. They're not just going to let him run free and do whatever. So I think people are worried about his game translating over to the NBA. And then I have, for you guys that these are Big 12 conference guys that are going to be in the draft. Point guards. I got Monte Morris out of Iowa. He's a sophomore. Isaiah Taylor, Texas, sophomore. Marcus Foster out of K-State. These are point guards. Marcus Foster, K-State, sophomore. Juwan Staten. I hope I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. West Virginia. Kenny Sherry out of Baylor. He's a senior. And so those are your Big 12 point guards that are going to be in the draft. And these are your shooting guards. You call them wings, but I call them shooting guards. You got Kelly Oubre from Kansas. He was a freshman. He came along. Kelly started to come along pretty good towards the middle of the season, towards the big dance and everything. I don't know how his game will go over. He can shoot. He's very athletic, but he's got to be able to make his own offense. Kind of like a Kyrie can make his own. He doesn't need anybody to help him with his offense. He makes his own offense. He can take Kyrie can take care of the dribble. Well, this guy, he's more of a bigger guy. So we'll have to see if he's going to be able to make his own defense stuff in the NBA. But he's a freshman coming out of Kansas. And if you know Kansas basketball, you know Wayne Selden. Wayne Selden, to me, I'm glad he stayed. I think Wayne was a sophomore. And Wayne can make his own shot. Wayne can play defense. He can run the court. But sometimes he gets a little what's the word I'm looking for? Get a little sidetracked. He just doesn't he loses focus a little bit. But you got Wayne Sullivan coming out of Kansas. Uh, Terrene Walker Prince as a junior coming out of Kansas. He sat on the bench. He didn't really play a whole lot, so I don't have much vested as knowledge in him. He didn't really play a whole lot. He didn't do a whole lot. You got Buddy Hill coming out of OU as a junior. Bryce DeJane Jones, Iowa State as a senior. And you got your power forwards, Jonathan Motley from Baylor, he's a freshman. Kavar Shepard, TCU, sophomore. Clifford Alexander, Kansas. He played a little bit. He wasn't too bad. He was a freshman. Some freshmen, that's why I said I do not like the one and done.
Yeah.
I do not, because you're going into a man's world once you leave college.
Yep.
And they have no sympathy for you. They don't give.
Nope.
They have no sympathy for you. They don't care what you were when you were in high school. They don't care what you were when you were at Kansas or Duke or Austin P or wherever. They don't care. And if your game doesn't develop, I mean, you look at Joel Embiid that left Kansas. He went to Philadelphia and has done nothing because of injuries. If you had stayed at Kansas, they could have brought you on slowly. You could have worked on your injuries. Now you're in the NBA, you're nothing because you can't play. But somebody got in your heads, oh, the money, the money, the money, the money. Listen, people, life ain't all about money. It's just not. It's not all about money. So, but I got Buddy Hill, and you got Buddy Hill out of Iowa, OU, and then you got power forwards. You got Cliff Alexander, freshman from Kansas. You got Jonathan Holmes from Texas. He's a senior. You got LeBron Nash, OSU, senior. Tashawn Thomas, OU, senior. You got George Niang out of Iowa State. And your centers, you have Miles Turner. He's a freshman from Texas. Prince Abib from Texas. He's a junior. Rico Gathers from Baylor. And Cam Riley from Texas. He's a junior. And these are not guys. These are guys that may or may not get drafted, like your Perry Ellis's. These guys that are already working out for teams. Those guys are going to get drafted. These are prospects that may have to go to the D League.
Right.
They'll get drafted by a team, but they may have to go to a D League in order to develop themselves, which is fine. But if you look at it, why go to the D League when you can stay in college and develop and enjoy being a kid? And I know people probably get me tired of me hearing say it, but I just because as an adult, once that time in your life is gone, it's gone, and you can't go back and experience all the fun things that you could. And when you do stuff, if you screw up, they're not going to look at you as some 18, 19-year-old kid out in college. Oh, we'll pat him on the back. We'll help him out or whatever. No, they're going to be like, he's grown. You're a grown man. So, but here's my list. And so some of these guys, they'll get drafted, but they may end up going to the D League. They may come here and play for the Oklahoma City Blue or some team, developmental team in Texas or wherever. They're not guaranteed just because they're gonna, these are, the prospects, and so we'll have to see what happens. And that's some of my Big 12 news. Also, we have our we'll do that by 8:30. I have some news from Kansas City. Some fans were at the stadium after a game, and they heard a dog barking. This just really irritated me. So some fans had to rescue a puppy from a hot car at Kauffman Stadium.
I read that story.
Man, how you gonna leave a cat in the car? I mean, a dog in
A
the car.
dog. It was
Dog
a
in,
puppy.
it was a puppy.
It's like-
16 weeks. 16 weeks old. Left him in the car.
Oh, I just bought a dog. I'll just leave it
I'll
out in
just
the
leave
car
it,
while
yeah.
I go to the baseball
While I
game.
go to the baseball game, and it just it'll
See that nice ticket or misdemeanor charge that they
Yeah.
write against you.
yeah. And guess what? And guess what? The people that the car they showed. Guess where they were from?
Don't tell me Oklahoma.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Whoever you were that left your dog in the car, you're stupid. You're stupid and you're selfish. If you don't want to take care of the dog, then don't get him. That's ridiculous. You gonna leave a dog in your car for what, 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah. Three.
So
at the
3
longest.
hours, hot in Kansas City, 100 degrees, somewhere around there still. That's ridiculous.
Well, I cracked the windows.
Yeah. I cracked the windows. You didn't even know no water, no air conditioner, no nothing. So when they got the dog, they had to call the police, and the police had to come open the car, and they put out
An announcement
an announcement that
to the whole state.
yes. Yes.
Oh, that's gotta be
Yeah.
humiliating.
So nobody
As you're walking out, like feeling you literally have to be feeling
Yeah.
this small.
and I don't even know that whoever dog it was, they never came to. Yeah. Would you? Yeah, I mean, if you had to go to a police department or a humane society and pick up
Yeah, my dog was the one that I left outside
I left
the
outside
ballpark.
at the ballpark at Kauffman Stadium. Oh, really, sir? Yes. Kansas City, Missouri Police Department, because that's endangerment of an animal. That's some kind of misdemeanor, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then I got some other baseball news. The Royals are considering Jose Reyes as a second baseman, but he's got some baggage. He got a little
Yes,
baggage.
He does.
He got a whole lot of baggage. He got like a big Duran size baggage that he can fit me. Yeah. He has domestic violence last November. He has played no big league baseball in 2016. And his batting average is 274, 7 home runs, and 24 stolen bases. I think he's playing the minor league right now.
I'm not for certain.
That's what they said. They said he's played no big league baseball this year.
If it's, we'll have to.
You go ahead and
Yeah. You just
So-
keep talking.
And so, but the people that need the Mets, where he came from, when the domestic violence happened, the team that he was playing for were the Mets, where the Mets are in need of a player at second base. So they're contemplating, well, should we let him come back? Should we not let him come back? The Royals, but the thing about it, with a guy with this kind of baggage, and I'm gonna say something real quick. I know people like, well, you contradicted yourself last week because I said Ray Rice's name, but I didn't say the other guys. I apologize for that. I just look at. I'm not condoning what Ray Rice did, but the other guy that went to Dallas, he deliberately threw this woman on some guns.
Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy. He threw this woman on some guns and stuff like that. And he's not trying to make amends for what he did. He's not out speaking to the public and so I'm not saying either one of them are right or anything like that. But I still think I would give over Ray Rice. I would give Ray Rice another chance. I think he deserves it. Greg Hardy, I don't think so. But if people are to bring in Jose Reyes, you're gonna have to think about what your what your fan base is going to say about having a person with domestic violence uh, on your team.
Well, look at Aroldis Chapman though. You look at Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
Aroldis Chapman, served his 30-game suspension
Hmm.
for coming into the New York Yankees organization,
Yeah.
and he's done nothing but proved himself for the Yankees
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah.
His domestic violence is basically a moot point right now because, he's proving himself and he's keeping himself clean as
Yeah.
far as we know.
As far as we know, yeah. So, and that's that.
It
And
looks like he is playing absolutely no baseball right now.
okay, so you heard it right here on the Jimmy the K Sports Show that Jose Reyes is not playing any baseball right now anywhere. So he's not played any big league baseball this year. So somebody, if they want to take on the baggage of his domestic violence issues, they're going to pick him up. They're going to overlook that, and I mean, because his batting average 274, that's pretty stout. I mean, and 24 stolen bases that was probably 2015 too. That was probably, and so he still got it. But are you going to want to bring on that, bring on the baggage of having him on your team? Also, David Ortiz, he regrets.
I saw this story.
He regrets
Announcing retirement. Yeah, after the season that he's having this year, I'd regret it too.
He thought he was going to have you're not Derek Jeter. You can't. Yeah, you don't have 4 rings. You got 2, but you're not Derek Jeter. So he regrets announcing his retirement. He said it was stressful, and in the season that they're having, it's like, I wish I hadn't done it, but it is what it is.
After regretting it though, is he gonna pull who's some of the professional players that have announced retirement, but yet they've come back? Oh, I can't think of one. There's been a few, but at his age, I think he's 40 or 41. He's
done.
He's done.
He's done.
Stick a fork in him. He's done.
A big fork. Put some taco sauce on it. You know what? I have been. Let me get to. You guys I like food, so let me get to this. Okay. I found a new eating spot. Also, the Rockies and the Marlins break a scoring record for the most solo home runs in a game. The Rockies won the game 5-3, 8 runs, 8 solo homers.
Sheesh.
What are you saying? It's like bing, bing, bing.
I know.
Bing. Like, mama, So yeah, but that was the Rockies and the Marlins break the scoring record for the most solo homers in one baseball game. The Rockies won the game 5-3. It was 8 runs, 8 solo homers. Wow, that was some major launch pad going on right there. That's what that was.
Really bad pitching, honestly.
Yeah, there was. You'd be like, hold on a minute. We're going to play underhand. We're going to do some underhand pitching. Okay. Yeah, so I couldn't believe. I was like, are you kidding me? 8 solo homers?
That's bad pitching.
That's some bad pitching right there. It's like, you know what? Grandma, you go ahead and get you a home run real quick. So anyway, I was on the way to my other job. I'll tell you guys, I work for a TV station. So, I love Mexican food. Well, I had already tried out one of those, those Mexican trucks that people see out and about.
The food trucks, yeah.
The food trucks. I went to one about 3 weeks ago. It was okay. Well, I found a new one. Let me tell you. Man, it is delicious. It was yeah. So every time I go there, it was good. So when I get, do I even have a? Let's see, I have pictures in. It is
He's gonna show you pictures of a taco.
Let me show you. Let me see. Let me see. I put it on my Instagram. Let me see. Where is it?
If you're viewing and have questions, feel free to just ask any sports questions
Let me see.
or food questions. I'm
Or
pretty
food
sure he's
questions.
eating
I might have yeah.
Except KD's. He
That's-
has not
I
had
haven't
that
had-
yet.
I've
Remember,
not had
like,
KD's yet.
yeah, we're gonna change that for him.
Yes. It was this. Let me see. I don't even know if they would be able to. This it's off of I-35 and 44th. Um, I'm headed over to like 50th and Chill, but you get off I-35. For you guys that are here in Oklahoma City, I-35 and get off on 44th Street. Turn right. Keep going. It's gonna be over to your right hand side. Man, it's good. So what I get is I get like a quarter chicken with some beans and rice, some flour tortillas. Because people know I don't eat beef or pork, so I get some beans and rice, flour tortillas, and it is good. So check them out. I mean, their number is I know they ain't giving us no problem, but just in case you might want to check them out, 405 882 3406. It's called Mr. Dollar. They're good. You might want to try it. I'm just saying, check them out. But yeah, the place I went to before, they were okay, but this one right here, this has become my spot. Also, it helps me work on my Spanish because I'm learning how to read all the different the food stuff in Spanish. So when I see mine, it's like posa abdablo or something like that for chicken. So yeah, but check them out. They're good. They're not giving us anything. I just
Yes. Yeah. This is not an endorsement.
it's not an endorsement. I'm just saying if you
Yet.
if you guys happen to be out shopping in that area, you get a little hungry or something, swing on by the Mexican taco truck or whatever, and they're open. I mean, they're open late. Like I've driven like 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Oh man.
Oh, they're still putting out the chicken and whatnot. So, yeah. And then I think JK's got something he wants to talk to you about. So.
Cool. Alrighty, if y'all been frequenting the All About Sports Zone website, y'all noticed a deal that I put up about a possible contest. Now, this will only be done through likes, through shares, through comments, through subscribing on YouTube. But this will only happen if enough of y'all comment, like, share, and at least tell me that it's something that y'all want to see us do. So basically, this is what I've got going around in my brain right now. First off, a prize for likes and shares. It would be for Facebook and Twitter. So if you have a Facebook or a Twitter account, you like us and share us there. You get entered for one like on Facebook is one point. One like on Twitter is 1 point as well. You can also send in sports pictures to the website, which is W. Yes, that's the radio term. It's not W. It's W.
That's right.
W. www.screamerproduction.wix.com/allaboutsportszone and send in your sports pictures for a chance to win prizes. You'll send those in. You'll get 100% credit for them. They'll go up the day that you send them to us, we'll pop them up. Sign up for the All About Sports Zone fan page as well for prizes. You go to the website, and right there at the very middle of it, it says sign up for the All About Sports Zone fan page. I do that, chance to win prizes. Comment on our YouTube page for a chance to win prizes. As a matter of fact, every Tuesday we put these videos up on YouTube. So we'll put this video up on YouTube. Let's say y'all want to see us do this, and you comment on the Facebook page or you comment on the Big Dude's Twitter page and say, hey, we want to see this. Then starting July 1st. This is going to happen July 1st if we get enough people interested in it. July 1st, we'll start the contest, and it will run through the end of the month. And then you can also subscribe to the
But
YouTube
you have
page.
to like us.
Exactly.
Okay.
You have to like us, and you can't do the like thing to the All About Sports Zone page and be like, I'm gonna like it, and then at the end of July be like, hey, I got my prize. I'm gonna unlike
No.
you. Come on.
Yeah, listen.
No.
We're good. We give you news. We probably give you some stuff that you probably don't even want.
Exactly.
Okay. But we're good. Okay. I know my stuff. He knows his stuff. We try to bring it every show. I prepare hard because I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the best that I got to give. I'm on the internet. I got tablets up. I'm researching everything. Turning on my classical music because I listen to classical music that helps me focus.
Right.
So, but listen, if you guys, we're going to do the show no matter whether you want us to or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But it will be so. But, Rocky, I love you, Rocky. So, but just listen, man.
Our fanboy friend will be happy that we referenced a boxing movie. You were saying go.
Okay. But yeah, just, we want to bring you guys the best that we have every Tuesday. And we do the best we can. And we enjoy it. We love it. But we want to give back to you guys.
Exactly.
We want to give back.
And that's the whole point of doing this contest.
Yeah.
Now, somebody's going to be like, okay, what kind of prizes are you going to have? Is it just going to be a fluffy pencil or, a fluffy picture of a sports player of ours? No. If we're doing this, we're going to do it right.
Yeah, we'll get
get
prizes.
So the four prizes that are on the top of my head right now. On the top of my head. I don't have prizes on the top of my head. I have a hand on the top. One is a 2-pack of tickets to a sporting event of your choice. That's to anybody out there. You give us the most likes, you give us the most comments, you give us whatever, except then.
And if you like movies
and you want to go see, let's say the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's say we have a viewer out there in LA. I want to go see the Lakers. Well, then we'll hook you up with the 2-pack of tickets to go see the LA Lakers. Now, are they going to be front row seats? I'm sorry.
So you just know right now.
My budget can't afford front row. It's not probably going to be.
It will be
nosebleed.
Nosebleed. You will just be happy to be
at the game.
At the forum, okay? Don't be giving me no comeback.
Second would be a jersey of your favorite sports player's sports team. That I think is a pretty fair deal.
You can do that.
I think for smaller prizes, a keychain of your favorite sports team.
Maybe a gift card from
exactly something like that.
Okay.
And then for an even smaller prize, since people love us so much, signed headshots of the Big Do and Jimmy the K. What's up?
When you want to look at this short magnificence, look at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at us. Would you not want to have a signed autograph
from us?
From us, the Big Dude, the Jimmy K. See,
you want our autograph.
All we gotta do now is we get Jimmy to shave his head.
Shave my head.
No, I don't know. Hold on, though. It's Oklahoma. They might think you a skinhead or something.
True.
They might think you.
Hey, my hair was shorter than this a few weeks ago. It's almost like
they'd be like, if we hang out together, they'd be like,
there's something wrong with that.
Something wrong.
Exactly. But that's the contest ideas that we got going for you. Be sure to go to our Facebook page. That's All About Sports Zone. It's simple now because I've noticed on the Facebook app for your phone, at the bottom of our page, it says @All About Sports Zone. It's basically like your Twitters. If you go to the handle and go @All About Sports Zone or just All About Sports Zone, and like us, that'll let us know that you're interested in something like this. Comment on this video and let us know. Uh, comment on the YouTube page and let us know. Granted, it's not going to happen tonight. I've already said it'll start July 1st with enough comments, likes and stuff like that to the end of July.
And as viewers, let us know the things that you may want to see on the show.
Exactly.
Let
and
us
how
know
we can improve.
How can we improve so we can keep you guys viewing? Do you need more? I mean, we're still going to be funny, but tell us what you as viewers want to see. That way we know what we need to do as broadcasters.
I brought up this very question, I think, on my Facebook page and in front of my, but I don't know if he was being sarcastic or not. I asked him what improvements we could make, and he's like, well, honestly, I'd like for you to do a live show at the Gaylord Stadium where OU plays, and I'd like for you to do a sideline interview with Bob Stoops. I was like, okay, I'll think about it once I can figure out how we get our press passes.
I mean,
without getting kicked out or arrested.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna be listen, and I'm not gonna be wishy-washy. I'm not gonna be kissing OU butt. So not gonna happen. No, I don't care where I'm at. If you're wrong, if you're crappy, you're crappy. Trust me. If KU's crappy, they're crappy, and I say it. I don't hold back nothing. Okay, national championship this year, we could have had it. I don't know what y'all was doing against Providence. That was straight.
But yeah, like he said, just let us know how we can improve.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's everything that we've got for this week. No? What's that? You got more?
I got more.
You got more?
Yeah.
We got more.
I'm a researchologist, okay?
Yeah, so tell me what more.
Right.
What more? Oh, yeah, we forgot our Big 8 player of the week.
We got the Big 8 player of the week. And I still got some NFL stuff there. Okay, so I'll tell you what, we'll do this last. This will be the end of the show. NFL stuff. Michael Orr, Blindside, for you guys that may not.
He does not like that.
He doesn't?
No, he does not.
You should have done a damn movie then. No.
I know.
You shouldn't have did the movie.
I've read many articles, especially he was with the Panthers last year.
Yeah. And
when they got their Super Bowl ring, whatever, he was talking about how all the younger players come up to him and oh, you're the Blindside guy. And he's like, he's never once seen the movie because he's always been referred to the Blindside guy.
Well, the movie's about you. You had to have you had to have had some kind of input on the movie.
He had input into it, but he goes, honestly.
Don't be such a whiner. Wendy Whiner. I don't want to be known as the Blindside guy. Bro, I'm going to take all the money that had come from movies and everything and all the endorsements.
Hey, that sounds like Bobby Boucher. We got into that last week. We don't want to get into it this week.
Wendy. Michael Orr, don't be a whiner, okay? Don't make me go back to Saturday Night Live and pull out Rosanna damn.
Foosball is for the W.
But you don't want to be known as the Blindside guy. But when them checks come to when that mailman drop that check, residual check off on your door, I'm the Blindside guy. I sure is, man. Yeah. Whatever, dude.
Foosball is for the W.
Yeah. Oh, Vicky Valancourt. I touched Vicky Valancourt. Okay. All right. So, Michael Orr signed a 3-year extension with Carolina worth $21.6 million in new money.
Bling, bling.
Bling, bling. With 7.2 a year and a $9.2 million in guaranteed money. The 30-year-old, he was waived by Tennessee after having a bad year. The Panthers also signed Ryan Kelly to a 2-year, $16 million million deal. I think Ryan Kelly's either guard or their guard or center. So that was Michael Orr, not the blind side guy, because he gets a little blind. You call him the
I mean,
blind
it's
side.
not like he's watching this, but hey, you never know.
You
It's
never know. Yeah, don't be whining, man. You taking all that money and stuff, and you got to do a movie with, or you didn't get to do a movie, but you got to be around Sandra Bullock.
yeah, I know.
Really? I don't even like skinny girls. Okay, I like my women nice and fat. All right, but
Hey, they're not fat. They're festively plump.
they are very festively plump. I tell you. Anyway, so anyway, so but he signed a 3-year extension with Carolina, so he will be protecting Cam Newton's blind side.
Exactly.
There you go. And then the Giants, with everything that happened with missing fingers last year, the Giants sat down the whole team and said, "Listen, we know we about to have a break from OTAs and all the stuff that's going on right now." So they sat down all the rookies.
Give us your guns.
Yeah, and your firecrackers. Yeah, anything that can explode.
Anything that causes fingers to
Yeah,
come off.
that to come off. So the rookies, the vets of the Giants, sat down all the rookies and the young guys and said, "What talk to them about what not to do on break." And this was Rashid Jennings is one of the rookies on the Giants team. So hopefully everybody comes back from break with all their limbs, eyes, toes, fingers, the same thing they left with. Pay somebody to pop your firecrackers. Don't you making enough money? You don't have to.
Hey, if you're worried about losing a finger or something,
Yeah,
you know Walmart has those stringer deals that just pop.
Yeah. And you don't even.
I do that the 4th of July for the kids because this thing.
Because you live in Edmonton too, so that you can't pop no firecrackers in Edmonton.
Hey, what they don't know ain't gonna hurt them. Hopefully they can't track this with a knot.
He'd be like, "Hey, he ain't here." Yes, he is. No, he is not. He on vacation. Where they at?
None of your business.
Get out of here. Okay. All right. Von Miller. Von Miller says he will sit out this coming NFL season. Does not want to play under franchise tag. He is guaranteed his he doesn't want to play under franchise tag. And he would be the highest paid NFL. He's looking at there's another guy that plays for the Eagles that is the highest paid NFL defensive star, Fletcher Cox. He's got a guaranteed $63 million guaranteed 6-year deal. And the Broncos have until July 15th deadline for the collective bargaining agreement. If they don't, then Von Miller will get the franchise tag, and he'll make $14,129,000. So that's that for the NFL. Now comes the end of the show. We got our Big 8 legend, and this is the University of Kansas graduate, Rock Chalk.
He wrote Billy Mills, and I thought I heard him say last week Billy Mays. So I Googled Billy Mays. It's like the infomercial guy that died of a heart attack. That was a University of West Virginia walk-on.
Oh my goodness! No, this is not him.
Wrong one.
All right. Billy Mills was a track athlete at the University of Kansas. He went to Kansas from 1958 to 1961. He was named to the NCAA All-American cross-country team 3 times. He helped win the 1959 and 1960 Outdoor National Championship at Kansas. Mills spent most of his childhood at the Haskell Indian Nation School in Lawrence, Kansas. He was coached by Billy Easton. He had some rough times outside of the Native American community. He is a type 2 diabetic. Also, at that time, he was dealing with racism, and he lost his parents and sister at the age of 12.
Ouch.
Yeah. He was a commissioned officer in the U.S. Marines. He joined the U.S. Marine Corps track and field team. He won the 10,000 meters in Tokyo in 1964. He won the 6-mile race. He won the 6-mile race in 28:24, beating his personal best by 46 seconds. Billy Mills, to this day, is the only American to win the Olympic 10,000 meters.
Oh, wow.
He was born in South Dakota in 1938 in Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And that is our Big 8 legend for this year, Billy Mills out of the University of Kansas. And he is the only American since 1948 or 1964 to win the Olympic 10,000 meters. And he did that in Tokyo, Japan. Man. So that is our Big 8 player of the year, of the week this week. Now, in this bag, I have other Big 8 teams.
Oh, very nice.
See, we high tech on the Jimmy the K Sports Show, okay?
It's a bag of white stuff.
What you got there, boy? You got that good stuff, yeah. So, but Jimmy's gonna pick out because Jimmy's gonna do the research on the Big 8 player this week. So he's gonna pick.
Awesome.
So Jimmy's gonna pick a school.
Iowa State.
Iowa State. So Jimmy will have to look up and find an Iowa State athletic legend, whatever sport, swimming, whatever will. So Jimmy will bring that next week. And hope you guys enjoyed the show this week. We had a good time. We'll see you next week. Same bat station, same location. All right. Big Dude, Jimmy the K. We out. Have a good one. Have a good one.
So remember to send your questions to or like us on Facebook at All About Sports Zone.
Yep.
Follow us on Twitter at Jimmy Kersey1 and also at the Big Dude Show, correct?
That's correct.
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
And you can email us at allaboutsportszone@gmail.com. Send in those sports questions, comments, concerns, and let us know what you think about our show and the contest ideas. Until next week.
Also, go to my Instagram. I have the perspectives for what this year's coming in NBA draft players will get starting. It's not a guarantee of what they would get, but it's just to give you some idea on what they would get for their salaries. So you can go on my Instagram, follow me on Instagram, look it up, and I have it on there. Also, I have it on my Twitter also of what the players will get starting from the number 1 draft pick, from the top 30 or whatever it is, something like that. So you can go on my Instagram or you can go on my my Twitter and my Big Do Show, and occasionally I put stuff up like that. Also, I'm gonna post tonight. I'm gonna post the top teams with the most home runs in Major League Baseball this year. So there you go. Follow me on the Big Do Show, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Jimmy the K.
Yep.
We do it every Tuesday.
At 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Ustream, and also on Facebook Live. Again, thanks for joining us. Until next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Thank you for coming to our jungle. Peace out.
We are out of here.